Okay. Um. I wish there was more music and less ambient stuff. Um. Icy fire. Also, hang on. Did I just hear a... No. What?
What's going on?
Streamer mode didn't activate for Discord.
Oh no, Badoops.
I just heard a Badoop. I was like, that's not a sound I'm supposed to hear. Oh, I don't want to add a status. Whatever. I can set it to do not disturb. Why am I not in streamer mode? That fucking sucks. Oh well. Stretches.
Not one problem, it's another.
Hi Zuvi. Good lord. You can't come in with a fucking message like that. Hi Pixel.
They can call me a disappointment.
No, he
Thank you
cannot.
for it.
He needs to, like, put a sarcasm slash S or hug him. I guess he hugged him there, but he knows I'm joking. Hi, Smug. That's still just like, what the fuck? Smug, I'm excited for tonight. It's potentially our last Stardew Day. If we get 10 million and buy the golden clock, we'll have done all of our goals. Good night, oh Stardew. Hi, air. Finally a day of free Euland. Yeah. Only innocent thoughts here. Wait, so I was like, Smug, I'm excited for tonight, and you're like, oh, they're dating. My finger, there we go. My finger was like stuck, not extending fully. Can't wait to play Stardew 2 with you 15 years from now. Honestly, there's so many farming simulators. You could probably realistically find something like Stardew 2. I mean, the chocolate, factory. The chocolate factory. Hi, North Prince. Chat, do this. Thank you. I mean, I understand you can have one-night stands with friends. Haunted Chocolatier? That is a game that Concerned Ape has been working on and has been in development for 5 fucking years or something. Dude, I don't think it's ever coming out. When I found out about it, I was like, oh, Pog! I can't wait to play this in a few months when it comes out. Not having any idea just how slow development was for the game.
Don't worry, it'll release with Silk Song.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He still works on Stardew? I know. No, I'm just kidding, but you know I'm not kidding about these deals on Amazon Prime Day right now. Whoa, buy me a Pushini. Is it Prime Day? I completely missed that. He hasn't worked for quite some time on it because he's concentrated on 1.6 or Stardew. I mean, I assumed he'd be working on both. I assumed he'd be bouncing between two. Prime Day, yeah. Just not the drink. How many times a year is Prime Day? Hi, Senril. Cammy search. Bezos. I wish there was a Bezos emote because clearly he loves Twitch as a service. When standing splits you leap. Dude, okay, so for my flexibility, I feel like I've plateaued, and to actually get better, I need to do repetitions. I do like, 10 seconds of this, 10 seconds of this. I would really need to do like, I hold it for maybe 20 seconds. And then I, stand up, kind of ease up a little bit, and then I do 20 seconds again. That's what I would really need to do. But I don't want to spend 30 seconds or 30 minutes stretching. Is Bits going to be here today? I would be shocked if not. Squats. We're at squats. I achieved something in Throne of Liberty and I would like some validation from him. Okay. Yeah, Bits shows up almost every day. Not always like super actively, but it's very rare for him to miss. Three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Work damn days.
When standing splits you. I don't know, I'd love to be that flexible though. I think it'd be crazy fucking hot to like just have a leg going straight up while standing. I think they have one for summer and one in October. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I wonder if there's a reason for Prime Day. I wonder if they're like, these are when our sales go down the most. Let's put a sale here to like bump up sales. Because I learned that's what September was recently. That position is so hot, I mean sexy. Okay. Can you do the standard splits? Roughly how low can you go if not? I can't go low at all, actually. When it comes to doing the splits, I know I'm weird. I have like, it's very easy flexibility at first, but then I just hit a point where it's like, okay, it doesn't go further than this. And I feel like when I'm at those points, I feel very... I'm describing this so poorly. I feel like I'm more flexible than people who don't practice flexibility at all. But there's a lot of athletic people, like, I don't practice my flexibility correctly, so I don't have good flexibility. Jeff Bezos likes money? He sure does. I need to spend another $4 to get free shipping for stuff. Hi, Baldier. Hi, Cuteland chat. Can someone be a darling and highlight when Euland is going to be talking about the new terms of service? So I know what the new chat rules are. I'm busy bee this evening and can't be around much. So they updated new rules. Actually didn't read through now, and now I'm thinking like, wait a minute. Did they add anything to the rules except hips? Can't believe Koyo removed the Satanya Kekken cry. That's messed up. Were you not using them enough? I know he doesn't keep emotes if they're not getting used. Hi, Sumiko. I think so, which is weird because one would think they put it in the spring tax returns. Car has been sitting for a week. You should learn to put his legs behind his head for reasons. Oh my goodness. He doesn't want anime emotes anymore? Yeah, it's a phase he's going through. August is the best time to buy cars and houses. Really? How's my tracking here? Am I losing a hand? No, we're good. I hope it's just a... Oh shit, that was like right at 10. I'm gonna Button. 7 consecutive streams? Frick you, Bits! Hi. Straight back. We're not going up yet. We're not actually planking yet. 10:30 start. 13:30 end. 3 minutes. He's only keeping 2B and Renge emotes. Well, at least he's keeping Renge. Bitsu hug, Bitsu hug. What does planking do exactly? It strengthens your core. So your core muscles, your stomach muscles, your abs, are very much required to plank. And planking like this is actually not that hard. But then you do it for 20 seconds and you're like, oh, this is hard. And then you do it for 40 seconds and you're like, ow, this hurts. Then you do it for a minute longer and you're just like, oh god, kill me. You should try it. Something I should be doing. If you did a minute every day, you'd be a lot, I don't want to say healthier, but it'd be really good for your fitness. If you did 3 minutes every day, that'd be even better. But like, if you just did just 1 minute a day, posture, I bet, yeah, it does help posture. Literally, you need your core for everything. And just strengthening it, even a little bit, is just so good for you. Do it right now, Sumiko. How long can you plank? Bits, I got a rank 1 in an event. Aforementioned. Yeah, 30-minute planks and posture, I bet. Can you do Jacko pose? No. I would do the Jacko pose instead of the Cami pose. But, I can't do it at all. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do Cami stretch instead. Are you proud of me? I am, Pat. I've never planked, which is a little embarrassing. Honestly, I didn't know it was like a workout thing because I thought it was a fucking meme thing. I saw everybody planking on like their ovens across their kitchens, and so I was like, oh, it's just a meme thing. And then I was like, hey, you should plank. And I was like, yeah, I'm not a fucking idiot. No. And they'd be like, what? The exercise. I've been working on my flexibility so I can do Jacko pose. I mean, what? Hell yeah. We had guild versus guild last night and steamrolled the other guild? Hell yeah. I think spines are supposed to bend like in the Jacko pose. It is possible. It's just, it takes a lot to get there. A cheer on you, Nick. Hi, Nick. Why are you dancing? My current guild has 2 members, but good job. 15 seconds. The biggest challenge for the Jacko pose is hip rotation flexibility? Yes. Hey, read this. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Huh? Did I not read it with enough sass, Pixel? Damn, it sounded sexier in my head. Yeah. Join bigger guild, missing out on a decent amount of content. I don't think Zuby wants to join a bigger guild. I think he just likes having him and Koyo in a guild. I think, Anchor local. Hit respawn. I think, Zuby is not much of a social person when it comes to games. Hi, Kisu. Alright. You guys wait here. I'm gonna go fix my trackers. Good job, Elon. Thank you. I'm hyper flexible, but I should stretch and blank more. I used to be like even more sexy. I used to be even more flexible. It was like if I needed to cut my toenails, I would just put my feet up on the counter while standing. I can still kind of do it, but I have to like I have to make that happen. The Koyo monopolization. Dude, Zuvi will, like, absolutely keep Koyo for himself if he can. And, like... If I ever have Koyo to myself... Zuvi will be so fucking toxic and be like, this isn't fair, Mr. Yuland. You can't keep him for yourself like this. And I'm like, what about all the times you do it, motherfucker? That's not true. Oh, that's the wrong pin. I also want you, Elon. Aww. I do agree that when we have a group of like 4 or 5 going, it's more fun than like just one person. We gotta mute Metroid. I'm gonna hit this. And I'm gonna hit this. Wait. Ah. I thought I did everything so cleanly. I fixed my feet. But I didn't fix my fucking belt. Damn it. I forgot one little thing. Did you put yourself on Do Not Disturb? I did. Because I didn't get streamer mode with Discord. And so that I didn't get the little Discord boops while streaming, I put myself in Do Not Disturb. You're welcome. You took my shark? I don't even know who the shark is. Wait, is that Baka Tsunami? You're claiming Baka Tsunami too? You can't just own everybody. Find casual guild, that way you don't need to be social. Guild raids are nice. Metroid Prime 3 map, it is. We haven't played since SOTOR, Sag. Has it really been that long? Okay, we'll find something. My time is freeing up, Zuby. All of my days are clearing up. My priority right now is Hat in Time with Cairo. I need to make that happen. I also want to make it happen. After that... So here's the thing. With Stardew coming to an end, a lot of the group in the Stardew run have been like, we need to, you know, talk about our next game. We need to keep this going. And I'm like, Stardew would be great. Hi, Kodiak. Hi, Global. I didn't say hi to you when you got here. I was so offended by you took my shark. A dedicated run like Stardew where we have a set group of people is great. But I almost want it to be something that, like, more people can, like, drop in and play. I almost want, like... I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I almost want something like a Minecraft server. Some randoms got caught in the crossfire during the Guild vs. Guild. Wrong place, wrong time for them. Ah, well, that'll learn them to, you know, watch their surroundings. Did you put yourself on Do Not Disturb on Discord? I go to Five Guys to eat a burger. He goes to Five Guys to get plapped. I could really go for Five Guys right now. The sandwich shop, right? Yulin, the sandwich shop, right? I walked into a Confluent event without noticing I smacked down one player that attacked me. When I went to the delivery point, I got ganked by 2 players. Are all those guys playing Dagger Man? Well, you took my Kark. What is a Kark? Is that a cat shark? Why is Icy Fire so very cute? Dedication, effort, personality. You took my hand? I wish. Wish you were here right now. Well, you know what I really want? I want the, I don't know if it's like a plugin or something, that, like, you can grab people's hands. I'd love it to have it where, like, I'm walking and somebody can just grab and hold my hand. That I don't know. I was curious. I too can place my leg on the counter. Hell yeah. Check your... Wait, how can you do it, Kisu? You're like 5'1" or something. You have to like... How are you getting your foot up there? Huh? Check your kill records to see what they were running. Arc is a worrying thing. Task on a subject of trouble. Worry, by the way. Oh, I see. Perspective. Taking my bunny, too. I introduced you to the bunny. The Kodiak Fall Guys. And the one I killed was Dagger and Sword and Shield. Can I see who killed me somewhere? No pleasing the Moogle. Fall Guys? Global trying to own people. I think I've been in this area in WoW. This is a very early area. This is vanilla. So, like, this zone has been in the game for 20 years. It was reworked about 16, 15 years ago. And it, yeah, you can get here, well, with their new leveling system, you can get here, like, fucking right away, but you used to be able to get here around level 40 when 60 was the max level. No pleasing the Moogle, how are you, Icy Fire? Beach episode, tax paid. I did upload a beach video. Hi, media, how the Euland? I'm dying inside. Because all my friends are playing Satisfactory. And the ones that stream it are the ones that build disgusting spaghetti. I had one of them, he doesn't stream. But one of them literally sent me a picture earlier. And it was like, he's just building concrete pillars into the sky at different angles just to have gross concrete pillars sticking out of his spaghetti. They are literally doing it to hurt me. Dagger does seem to be very good right now. That'd be so cute. I know. The DPS for hand-holding? Sorry. I'm hypermobile, lol. I can't play daggers because in my head, all the edgy people play daggers. Daggers is one of those weapons that, like, I see it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be one of the edgelords. Even if it's something that I would love. 411? Can also put on the counter? Oh my god, Sumiko. You're diminutive. There's a hand-holding system for ER. I've seen it used in dance classes. I know it exists. I just, you know, need to get around to doing avatar stuff and doing that. And the hand-holding thing would be so far down the line. You're literally the size of the counter, Kisu. Got the loosey-goosey joints. Ichi jumped into a PvP world boss and got 18 kills by pressing 2 buttons. Fucking crossbow dagger players, bro. Yeah, I can see Ichi doing that. He should be fucking streaming it. What the fuck? Oh my god, hi media, I love you. No, the counter is waist height for me? Well, Nick, how are you, Nick? Tantrum? Do you live in the Hobbit hole? Who is this Kark y'all are talking about? I'm good. Kark is not a person. It is a word. That seems to be synonymous with prom/stress. No, just an average American apartment complex, 7-Eleven. Dagger, gotta be rogue, small. Can I put Icy on the countertop? I think he wants uppies. I also think he would accept uppies. Hi, Octal Mage. Aha, Sumiko short. Nalamau, hi, Octal. Mage, hi, heyo. Ah. We got a beach video out yesterday. I would accept uppies. It is true. I have one more WoW video to make. I did most of the footage for Dragonflight Beach zone. And I had to throw all of it away. And so I need to reshoot. I need to reshoot all the Dragonflight zones. I think I got like one section and then something came up, and so... How are you, Elin? I'm good. I woke up super early today. And I was dealing with a little bit of like memory leaking with my PC, which is concerning, but I'm planning to reformat soon anyway, so... By the way, how do you have your hands and arms when planking? You have them on your elbows. So literally, your elbows are against the floor, and then with your hands, you can kind of do whatever. But your elbow should be, like, straight down. Average American counter is 36 inches, 91 cm tall. Octal Mage reached 7 stream streak. I only said it because I, too, am short. Yeah, I think this is a rare moment for Kisu where they're like, oh my god, I'm taller than someone. I had a rare moment like that where I met a dude that was shorter than me. And I was probably really fucking annoying because I was like, I just can't get over that I'm finally taller than somebody. I just can't get over that I'm finally taller than someone. And he was like, yeah. And like looking back and I'm like, man, I was so fucking annoying. Been up since 4:30. But I was so dead last night, I went to bed early. We're at like maybe 60%. Oh, how about you? I hung out in Core's Discord a little bit. She's trying to set up like a Monday night hangout thing. She was doing Rabbit and Steel. She's going for the normal run no-hit. Hi, Proshiro. She's going for the normal Dust Bunny no-hit to get the golden floof. She did the story? I think I started doing the story and then I never finished it. Rabbit and Steel mentioned. I think Media has also been playing Rabbit and Steel. Media sent me a screenshot of, like, a fucking cracked build where she killed the wolf boss so fast that, like, their health locked and they didn't die before phasing. And it was like, yeah, I've only seen that, like, once or twice. Maybe 60%? What's got you down to 60%? How are you? I'm good indirectly in ass. Fun fact, my 2-year-old is almost counter height. He's 35 inches. Oh, also Yuli Heart. Yulin, why was you picking on Kyra last night? I wasn't. What do you mean? I don't think I was picking on Kyra last night. Unless, okay, you're talking about the one comment. I always talk to Kyra like that. Kyra's a big boy. He's got a thick skin. He can take jokes. He definitely gives me a lot of jokes. So I'll tease him now and then. I think what Nick is referring to was, oh, what was it? I might be able to find it in Chatterino. Oh, we were talking for a long time. There was a guy yesterday. That was really funny in Kairo's chat yesterday. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. So Nick goes, I don't see you walking with Yulin today, Cairo. And Cairo is like, I would walk with Yulin every day if I could, but sadly I gotta go to work. I'm sure Yulin would want to walk with me every day too if he could. And I was like, nah, I'm fucking tired of his ass. Get him out of here. Hi, Soulish. And then, now you can just hear Cairo say this in his voice. What the hell? You try to be nice to this guy and he's rude as hell. Girl wave, alu icy. Okay, I'm gonna try to plank with my headphones on. Do it. Aforementioned cheer. Cutland, hi, Dr. Air. Don't hurt yourself, I believe. So he does bonk his head on the bar counter. Oh no. The one person in Kairos. There was a guy his first time message in Kairo's stream yesterday. You know, he was like, first time chatter. And he was like, please be a femboy, please. And Cairo was like, hi, amigo. I guess technically I am. And the guy just full caps, yes! It was me, wasn't it? I'm pretty funny. No, it was amigo. It was the guy that was the first time chatter. I could only do a minute. A minute is pretty good for your first time. A lot of people try planking. They're like, you know, I've never planked before. It can't be that hard. And then they go like 20 to 30 seconds and they're like, oh dear God. Time to go perform some witchcraft. Hell yeah. Nah, that's just guys hanging out. How are you, Pixel Soul? Like a horse to water. I'm okay. I was shaking and breathing heavily. I could have pushed it longer, but I wasn't comfortable. The good thing about planking is that, like, it doesn't seem like, and I could be fucking wrong on this, and somebody could be like, whoa, no, don't give that. It doesn't seem like you can really hurt yourself by pushing it. It feels like the worst that's gonna happen is your arms give out and you smack yourself in the face. So I guess you could break your nose. But you're not gonna, like, literally snap your back by pushing it. I think the worst that happens with planking is that, like, you just plonk onto the ground. Planking is intense if you're not used to it. Air is a very big cutie. Yeah, a minute is great. I can't plank at all. Aw, shucks. They make it that far. I get 10 seconds in and want to perish. Yeah, it's hard. Like a minute, I'll do another. It's an isometric exercise, so yeah, not much risk of injury. For once, you viewed my DM. I don't know why you say for once. I literally always look at your DMs. Dr. Wave. Just gotta push till the pain stops. Total muscle fatigue. Hey. Hoi, ewo. Hoi, Dr. Ewo. Oh, I didn't put a space. Shit, what was it? I was gonna say something, and I was gonna come back to it. Sumiko. You wanna know what the record for planking is? For the world's longest plank? I should have come so I can plank on your shoulders. Den likes to do that too. 2 days, not that long. 9 hours and 38 minutes. I forget her name, but it's a woman who just planked just 9 hours and 38 minutes straight, which is just like, fuck. The idea of going longer than 10 minutes is crazy to me. Going longer than an hour is like, you have to have like your pain nerves turned off. There's no way. Smart, did you get your head pat today? Ian looks at your DMs. He doesn't respond to me anyway. I literally do! I don't like that, guys. 2 days shorter. 9 hours is insane. That's crazy, but doesn't surprise me. Core of literal steel. If anything, I'm surprised it's not longer. Pretty sure the 9 hours is a guy. I'd have to look again. You can check now. I remember, I thought it was this, like, blonde girl that was just a fucking brick shithouse. Yeah, didn't they have to put a catheter in and shit? Just throwing up a bunch? Oh god. That sounds so gross. I don't know if she needed an NG tube or not. Joseph Salikmal is 9 hours, 38 minutes, 47 seconds. Okay, what is the longest female plank then? I wonder if that's close. That's a description of all time, right? It's super like, ugh, I don't like thinking about it. There are many stages in that where it's like, hey, this world record sounds cool, but going through this level of effort isn't worth it. Having to need a catheter or throwing up at all is like, yeah, I'm good at stopping at this point. Brick shithouse. The female is 4.5 hours? Okay. I wonder if I just saw the picture of Joseph and was like, that's girl. Females have higher pain tolerance, but they are usually smarter. I think you're stupid wrong on that, Dr. Air. To be lower because they will stop? What the fuck are you even saying? That's a take? I don't actually know if women have a higher pain tolerance. I'm inclined to believe that they don't, and that's just bullshit doctors have spread. Because just, don't take women as seriously as men. Or it'd be higher because they can take it harder. Yeah, if they had more pain tolerance, I would think they could go longer. That is a massive history with the medical world, in that, women have high pain tolerance, minorities have high pain tolerance. So, like, if they say they're in pain, don't take them seriously and, like, just give them aspirin. That is a, like, really big problem. And, like, you can survey doctors today. You could, like, go to, literally licensed doctors practicing today and survey them and be like, hey, do you think that black people have a higher pain tolerance than white people? And it's something shocking, like 40 to 60% of them would be like, yes, of course they do. It's like, okay, why do you think that? Well, that's what I was taught in school. Oh, okay. It is, not good. And a lot of them, I'm not saying they're bad doctors. What I am saying, though, is that they have not been taught everything correctly. And they have kind of just stuck to that stuff they were taught. Because, I mean, usually your teaching is safe to trust. But this is just one of those things that's like, no, this is just so... just wrong, racist, and just out of nowhere, just... what the fuck? Why? 50 seconds, I'm sweating now? Gonna do another plank, that's a take. Be higher. Yeah, fuck doctors. It's a thing that comes from the chemical that gets released post-birth. Makes them forget the pain they went through. Oh. Possibly. Studies have found that the female body has a more intense natural response to painful stimuli. Meaning they're even bigger babies than we are? No. I'll say they're bad. Greater nerve density present in women may cause them to feel pain more intensely than men. Yeah, I would say that means the opposite, Dr. Air. But what Froshier was saying is that with childbirth, there's a chemical connected that makes them, I guess, not remember the pain as strongly. I guess repress it more. I don't know anything about that. This is the first time I'm hearing that. So that is not a Yulin take. From an instinctual standpoint, it makes sense, right? You wouldn't want an animal to be like so averse to pain that it doesn't want to have kids again. And so you would think a creature that, like, let's say it has a lot of pain giving childbirth and then always forgets that, it's a lot more likely to have more kids than the other members of its species that aren't forgetting that pain and are more hesitant to have kids again. It's not about handling pain, but the women feel more pain from the same stuff. In the engineering world, we just say, but did you die though? And then everything is fine. Is it? Don't reveal our secrets, weird. Evolution has some weird tricks, Keck. Yeah, evolution is... It would suppress the urge to have the baby. If you remembered the pain more strongly, but if you have this chemical that makes you forget this, it would not suppress the urge to have a baby. The emotional pain of having an asshat for a kid is permanent, though. Yeah. Dude, I saw Not the Asshole story. I've been reading a lot of Not the Asshole stories lately. I didn't write any down today. But I saw one that was like, am I the asshole for fucking hating my son? He's 23 years old. He just doesn't seem to care about anything. You know, in elementary school, he was a bully. In middle school and high school, he started stealing from my wife and I. Recently, he got access to our savings account and drained it. And we've had to fight with the bank tooth and nail to get it back. He just doesn't care. And my life has been worse now that he's here. And I have to walk around eggshells in my own house, and I'm like, dude, you're just a bitch of a guy. Kick him out. Just get his ass out of there. I'm very much of the mindset of, like, your parents, they take on a huge responsibility giving birth to you. They owe you 18 years, but at 18, you know, you're an adult at that point. And if they like you, if you like them, and they see it as like, hey, we like you enough to keep you around, good. That's good on both people, and that's ideal. I actually really don't like, you know, kicking kids out as soon as they're 18. I like the, you see it in a lot more Western cultures. Western cultures? Eastern cultures. You see it in a lot of Eastern cultures where the house just gets bigger and bigger, right? You've got families that, like, they just keep getting a bigger house. They just keep filling it up more. Oh god, my nephew and my niece saw you? Yeah. This Western idea of kick kids out as soon as they're 18 is like, I don't really like it. Now, that being said, some people's gotta learn to grow up, right? Some people's gotta learn consequences. And if they think they can be an asshole to their parents and they're entitled to everything, kick their ass out. Just fucking get rid of them. Now, granted, the type of parents that have a kid that grows up spoiled and entitled probably aren't the ones capable of kicking them out and standing up for themselves, you know? I'd be like, the people that aren't going to have a problem with a spoiled kid, and like, that's not to say parents are everything, right? You can do absolutely everything perfect as a kid and get a rotten kid. Or as a parent and get a rotten kid. You can do everything wrong, and that kid is still grows up to be a fucking, you know, amazing person. But they influence. Who are we talking about? No one in particular. Mostly a story I saw on the Am I the Asshole subreddit, where this kid was just the comments were all like, "This is a psychopath. This is just a textbook psychopath. He literally doesn't care about anyone but himself, and he's very short term." But like, I don't know. I live with my parents. I feel like I go through great effort to get along with them. I feel like, you know, they ask me to do a favor, and I take it as them saying jump, and I say how high. Because I am greatly benefited by living here with them. I have some friends who, it just seems like they hate their parents. Like, they just, all I ever hear is just how awful their parents are. And I'm like, okay, what's the plan to get out? Crickets. Okay, so you're relying on them, but it sounds like you're not being that nice to them. Well, they're not that nice to me. Okay, well, start it, motherfucker. Like, you gotta be above it, and like, and I know that doesn't work for everyone, right? There's some people with shitty parents, and like, with society we have today, it's real hard for our generation. But I don't know. I think I just hear the worst of it. Because I don't see when the parents do something nice. I only hear about when that person is upset and they need comforting. I'm like super behind. As Shino Abe once said, have more kids. So it forces memory loss on you. That's so cool. I think my chemicals broke because I still remember the labor and recovery pains. I'd imagine it just weakens it, and, like, it's not 100%, right? It's like, hey, maybe you, like, kind of just repress it more than others. Maybe you just don't. I don't know. Never again, right? So the actual event was worse than the memory. Oh shit, it's time to go. Hello. Bye, Dr. Air. Hope work goes well. Hope I wasn't too slow getting to that. Now, I'm still gonna have a number 2, but probably get the epidural sooner. Bye-bye, Dr. Air. I think the son has just have a bad upbringing, dude. Plus, they're an asshat. Lamau can't excuse that. It sounded like they were... If everything was as the father was telling it, then it was like... This kid's just a psychopath. Now, it's Reddit, so the guy's going to tell the story, you know, in the light that makes him look best, right? He's not going to tell the part of the story that makes him look bad. Dude, this kid has his parents whipped? That's nuts. Oh god, my nephew and me saw you. Awkwardly trying to explain what Twitch is to a 4-year-old. I just explained it as, like, TV, but you get to be the one making the TV show. Generational housing is fun. I'm sure there's parts of it that suck. But, like, you know, I'd rather live with a massive family than get kicked out at 18. Fun fact, when you're anesthetized, they also give you something for memory loss to cause it. Oh. Make homes feel as if they have history. My floorboards are from the 1980s. Me. Honestly, that's the thing I don't get. If you don't like your current situation, do something towards a solution. Lurk. I feel like that should be the case in mentality. I feel like if you don't like your solution, fix it, change it. But I recognize that it's not that easy for a lot of people, right? For a lot of people, you know, they don't fit in society. And, like, changing their situation is very, very difficult. It's just as difficult as staying in that situation and being unhappy. Well, which one are they going to do? Path of least resistance, the one where they just suffer doing nothing. I have a friend. Getting a job is very difficult for her. She has very severe sleep apnea. And so, in that situation, it's very inappropriate for me to be like, wow, you don't get along with your parents? Well, fucking move out. Go get a job and move out. And it's like, she has gotten jobs, and they typically don't last long because she can't stay awake at them. Because sleep apnea. It is diagnosed, by the way. In that case, it feels very inappropriate to be like, just go get job and fix your situation. Now, that's the exceptions, right? Not everybody has diagnosed severe sleep apnea. So when I see like 10 people in that situation, and they're all like, ugh, my parents make me so miserable. I hate living here. Alright, what's the plan? When I see 10 of those, I'm like, I don't want to judge some of you, but like, some cultures, even after the person gets with someone and has children, the whole family will still live together, and that's just their culture, and it works well enough. Yeah, so like, I think this might be a big thing in some places in China, where like, they just stay together. When a guy marries a girl, the girl just moves in with the guy's family. And so you will see, I remember there was one family, they just owned an entire building in a city. Because they just, like, kept moving people in. Right? So this family just, they owned a building. It was technically like 128 units or something. When you turned 18, they had a whole system. When you turned 18, you got your own apartment room. If you had a wife, you got one of the nicer apartments that was, like, bigger. And it was, like, it was something like 156 people in this family all living in this building. And they just owned this, like, 15-story building or something. I made it to a minute. I'm gonna spend today working on flanks exclusively. I have Samiko to thank. Super behind. Good job, Icy Fire. My childhood home was pretty old too. So old there was a visible 1.5-inch gap from where the floorboard sat originally and where they ended up. Oh my. Oh yeah, if there's an actual cause, then it's a lot more complex. But a lot of people living completely normal lives with no issues and still complain. I do think we live in a society where there's a lot to complain about. You know, when you look at the wealth inequality index, it is shocking, right? When you look at how much money and wealth millennials have at the age of 30, and you look at that compared to 30 years prior, how much Generation X had at 30 years old. They had like 4 times as much wealth as us. And when you put it in those numbers, it's like, wait, hold on, wait. They had 4 times as much as us at the same age? And when you put it like that, it's like, that makes it seem like we don't have a fucking chance. When you look at wages, when you look at prices, you know, how much rent and owning a house has skyrocketed. How minimum wage has not gone up in 20, 25 years or something. It's like, it's very depressing. It's very nihilistic for a lot of people. A lot of people look at that and they're just like, why do I even care? Why do I even bother? I'm just going to give up because this is such an uphill battle. Admittedly, I'm a little bit like that. I always wanted to like work as little as possible, retire as early as possible. And then when I worked at a cubicle for 4 years, I had a pretty decent job. I got paid $26 an hour. I got to, for the first 2 years I was in an office. For the second 2 years I was work from home. And there was zero reason for me to be in an office. My job was completely doable from home. At the end of the COVID lockdowns, at the end of the 4 years, my contract ended and I needed to find a new job. But the industry had crashed twice. What I had been doing, earning 26 an hour, all of the same jobs were now paying 18 an hour. I was going to be making $8 less an hour. And they all wanted me to move like St. Louis, Seattle, or DC. Every single job was like, you need to be in an office in one of these 3 cities. And it was just so depressing going from 26 work from home to 18 live in an expensive city where you're not going to be able to afford that on 18 an hour. I literally would have had to get roommates. Or commute an hour every day. And like, when I looked at it that, I was just like, no, I'd rather just give up. And so I had a decent amount in savings. I moved back in with parents. Originally the plan was be picky, right? There were all these jobs hiring 18 an hour, work from, or go into office, no work from home. And I was like, you know, I'll take 20 an hour work from home. But if I live with my parents for a year, that'll give me a lot of like security. That'll give me a lot of like, I can be choosy and, you know, not work for longer. To let me not take a job where I would be getting, you know, just fucked, right? Taken advantage of. And I realized like 6 months in, I'd applied to like 100 jobs and gotten 2 callbacks. And neither of those callbacks led to an interview. And I was like, oh, we're getting to the point where this isn't going to happen. We're getting to the point where this is just, I'm not going to find a job being this picky. Fuck. I'm also like building a gap in my resume, and that's bad, which is just going to make it harder and harder. Fuck. So at this point, I kind of gave up on finding a job. And I was just like, we're just gonna stream. I'm in a position where, like, your parents got played so hard. I did kind of play them a little. I didn't mean to. It was not intentional. You got callbacks? I don't even get email rejections. I got 2. And basically they were both like, hey, so would you take it for this much an hour? And I was like, in my head, I was like, fucking no, but at the time I was like, yes, I would. And they're like, okay, we'll keep you in mind, and then just never heard back from them again. After about 7 months, I was like, I'm gonna stream. My parents are gonna go to Florida. I'm gonna have the house to myself. I'm just gonna start fucking streaming. I'm in a position where I have a massive head start on streaming compared to most people. Because I've been in VR chat community for 4 years. Because I, like, just have all these connections. I'm gonna hit the ground running. This is the stupidest thing in the world, by the way. This is genuinely the stupidest thing. I was going to commit to streaming. Not in an idea or sense of, I'm gonna make it big. But in a sense of, I just need to earn enough to break even while living an absolute destitute, poor lifestyle. I was like, if I can make 200 or 300 a month with my savings, I'll be in the red. But I will be able to, I'll be able to do that for quite a while. And maybe in, 10 years of doing that, I'd grow bigger and get more. But it was, I was literally committing to streaming before I even started streaming, which is the stupidest thing in the world right now. I always tell people, don't commit to streaming full time unless you can budget for your lowest month. I just have my savings doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now. So anyway, after 7 months of looking for a job, I committed to streaming, right? I'd always wanted to stream. And I talked to my parents about it before, and they really fucking shot me down. I decided I was going to start streaming behind their back. I was going to start streaming while they were down in Florida. Because in our previous conversations about it, I was like, I want to try streaming. And they're like, all right, just find a job. And I did not want to be like, hey, stream is going well. And then they're like, okay, well, have you gotten any callbacks? Oh, I didn't get any this week. But, like, let me tell you how great streaming is going, right? Like, I did not want that angle to happen whatsoever. They go to Florida. I can't start because the house is getting remodeled. Realistically, I probably could have started, like, late night streaming. I probably should have just done that. But I don't know. I was in my head and it was like, no, I gotta start right, I gotta start perfect. By the time the remodeling of the house finished, they had already come back from Florida. And it was like 1 month until my year deadline of, you gotta get out or have a job. And I found a job, but it was an unofficial job. It was a job through a friend who was going to be working on a game, and he was going to pay me. He was going to pay me for the hours. I was going to log everything. And when I told my parents, like, all right, I have this job. They're like, what? That doesn't count. It has to have a W-2. It has to have a W-2 to count. And I was like, you guys told me I could have a part-time. What the fuck? Okay. I got really mad at them for moving the goalposts, as I put it back then, but... with that, it was kind of just like, shit, alright, couldn't get this job doesn't count. What the fuck do I do now? I started looking at apartments and rental houses. Do you guys know that you can rent some houses for like $500 a month in Missouri? Yeah, so I was looking at places like that. My parents... Oh god, this is so bad. We're eating dinner one night. And my parents are like, so, Yulin, you've got a month left. What's the plan? And I was like, yeah, we're still gonna stream. Just gonna move out. I'm looking at rental properties right now. And, I'm just gonna commit to streaming. I'll be in the red, living off savings for a bit, but I think I have a real good head start compared to most people with streaming. And they were like, what places are you looking at? And I was like, there's this house here, there's this house here, the rent's about this much. And they're looking at these places like... They're looking at places like they're fucking meth lab houses. They're like, oh god, he's gonna get stabbed in these. And my dad said, I just don't understand why you haven't been streaming this whole time if you cared so much about this. Now keep in mind, this is the guy that had said, like, we do not support you streaming. You have to find a job. Yada yada. And so I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I've never sworn at my parents, but in this conversation, I literally just looked at him in the eyes and said, are you fucking kidding me? And then I didn't yell at him, but I was like, I think I might have been like shaking with anger. With like, we had this conversation. We had this conversation. We had this conversation. You made it really damn clear you did not support me streaming. You did not want me streaming. That the only thing you gave a shit about was me having a job. And that you did not count this, that you did not see this as a job. That is why I've been respecting your rules and doing it this way. And like, I just had that conversation and they were kind of just like, oh, I guess that's true. And like, we sat there in awkward silence for like 10 seconds. And I picked up my plate because we'd been having dinner. I said, thanks for dinner. Brought it over to the sink and I just went downstairs. And I was like, I've never been in a worse mental state from that conversation. I've never been so angry in my life. And, like, I love my parents. But they don't always, like, see eye to eye with me with a lot of things. They're very much like, they fit into society so well. Society told them to do all the things. Go to school, get good grades. Marry earlier than later. Work hard at your job, get promoted, get paid more. Society says do all those things. They did it, and it just worked for them. I'm not saying they had everything given to them. But, like, they had every opportunity and took every opportunity. High tech. Everything just worked for them. And so it's very difficult for them to see things outside of that really standard, really, like, do this, get that, and see it as, like, an option. My dad views work as fulfilling. It's not fun, but at the end of the day, you can be proud of what you've done, what you've accomplished. And I don't. And so it's very hard for him to see me so averse to work and understand it. But we had that conversation. I went to bed really angry. We didn't talk for the rest of the night. They didn't, like, come down to the basement. The next day, my dad comes down. I'm, like, literally looking at houses to rent. And my dad comes down and he goes, hey, Ewan. Bye, Zooey. See you tomorrow, if not before then. My dad comes down and he goes, hey, Ewan. The conversation yesterday. We hadn't thought of some of the things you brought up. We didn't realize the implications, you know, some of the pressure we had put on you. Didn't realize we'd kind of, you know, made you feel like you can't stream. We also, you know, we're kind of impressed how dedicated to this streaming thing you are. We don't understand it, but, you know, we're really impressed by that you're just committing to it. So we're going to give you another year. However, you have to pay $400 rent every month. You can stay here another year, go for streaming, and, you know, we'll reevaluate it in a year. But you have to pay rent. You can't live here for free like you have been the past year. $400 in rent. And, like, that conversation, I remember just thinking, like, fuck yes, this solves so many of my problems. I'm still angry. I don't know what to do with this anger. For 3 days, I was still livid. I was still just so riled up from that initial conversation that I was like, I'm mad, and it can't be at them. It's at them, but it's no longer appropriate to be at them. I gotta cool the fuck down. But I was so fucking angry. Hi, Kimmy. I was just so fucking angry, but I didn't know what to do with it. They had immediately solved all the problems. Icy Fire is paying forward a gift they got from an anonymous gifter to the community. Oh, you got crit. Thank you, Icy. Puts us at 1. And so that immediately solved all my problems. It took me like another month to get set up streaming. Once I started, I'd say the first month was pretty slow. I think it was like by week 3 that I really like took off and like had people coming by. I think it was like day 18, day 19, where I realized, holy shit, people have been here to the point that chat isn't stopping. Like the first 2.5 weeks, I would walk in silence. I wasn't like, I'm gonna talk to the void. If chat wasn't moving, I was like, you know, I've got some stories to sell. I'd be like, hey, have you guys seen this news? But like, if I was having a conversation and nobody was talking back, I'd be like, all right, I'm just gonna focus on the video and walk. But by like day 15 or 18, that just wasn't happening. Chat was fucking always there. And I'm fucking dependent on it now, guys. I will tell you right now, I don't know what... I will fucking panic the fuck out if I don't see you guys talking back to me. But yeah, within a month, I think that first month I made like... Well, I made affiliate. One of the reasons I was so like... I can commit to... God damn it, thank you, Sentinel. One of the reasons I was so like, I can commit to streaming before I've even done my first stream is that I had all of the affiliate goals. I already had 50 followers before my first stream. That's how like social connected VR chat is, socially connected VR chat is. There are people who, you know, they start streaming. They start streaming Minecraft. Or they start streaming League of Legends. And it takes them 5 years to get 50 followers. It just doesn't happen, right? Because, you know, they play your games. How do you do any networking? You have fucking, like, Twitch TV in your name. And people, like, spam the N-word in your games to, like, fuck with you. Or they come to your stream and spam it there. But, like... It's really fucking hard to get discoverability as a new streamer in a game with no connectivity. But in VR chat, because I had been in like 5 different communities, 5 different streamer communities, there were people that was like, holy cow, this guy's kind of funny. Laughs in Counter-Strike. I don't know if it's any different in Counter-Strike bits. If I started streaming, there were people that wanted to see that. So I had 50 followers before my first stream. Sounds like it'd be identical to CS. I wouldn't be surprised, but Bits is laughing, so I'm wondering if they have, like, some way of promoting new streamers. I remember showing up in your 3rd month. I think someone rated me here. Destiny has pretty good new streamer discovery? I wonder what that game specifically does. Because I would think, like, I would think a game that doesn't have much social interaction... Well, not much social interaction. The less social interaction there is a game, the harder it is to start on Twitch. CS is overpopulated, but it's easy to find new people in between matches? Okay. With VR chat... I had like 2 weeks of streams where there were very few people. There were people that would come in and be like, oh my god, you're streaming. I wish I could watch, but I have to go to work. Like Lost One in particular, he showed up on day 2 or 3 and was like, what the fuck, dude? This is when I work. You can't stream now. I was like, I'm sorry, bro. Matthews was the same. Gammy was the same. All 3 of them was like, I would love to watch this, and I literally can't, dude. I wonder if Leafeon sent me here. It was probably... both of them are very likely. I'm pretty close with both of them. I'd say closer with Leafeon's. Leafeon's in particular is, like, a big inspiration. Because, like, at one point, like, 2 years ago, she was doing a, she was doing a stream. She was like, I want to stream the game Don't Touch Grass. There's a game on Steam where you just hold a thing of grass, and it's called Don't Touch Grass. And I was like, it's green, so you could green screen it. You could do, like, React content, but it's you touching the grass. She's like, oh my god, that's such a good idea. Honestly, I don't know why you don't stream, Yulin. You have good ideas like that, and you're funny. You'd do well as a streamer. And, like, Leafy on saying that to you is just like, good. I like her emotes even more. I spam the fuck out of Cheeb. I think Cheeb, hers, and Koyo's are my most used emotes in the past 5 years. I'll tell you guys another thing. We were talking recently about my laugh and how I was self-conscious about my voice and didn't like it. And then somebody was like, I actually like your laugh. It makes me feel better. That was Leafy Ons. Yappin' is one of my all-time favorites. I just basically ignored chat for a little bit, so I'm gonna go back. True, we live in a society. Simply cause crime in Moomin Valley. Wait, was that where I left off? There's an actual cause. Okay, yeah, this is about where I left off. True, we live in a society. Simply cause crime in Moomin Valley, but you won't. God damn it, Icy Fire. Yeah, you don't get a chance here. Don't tell Elon that you can work from home. Have you seen Falling Down 1993, directed by Joel Schumacher? I haven't even heard of this pixel. I've seen like 20 movies. That's ridiculous. Twitch streamer offices when? You got callbacks? I don't even get email rejections. It was depressing when I got callbacks. It was just as bad as not hearing anything at all. Because, like, I remember one of them, they were just like, yeah, so you applied for this position, but what do you think about this? I can't fucking do that. Oh, okay, well, let us know when you can. No? It was like, what the fuck? They were literally just... It was almost like a sales fucking call. Your parents got played so hard, we live in a society. Wish I was fucking lying. I don't remember the last I even got an email saying they'll move on with someone else. Well, now put independent security trader or freelance consultant for unemployed years. Do you think it's too big? Yeah. Here's another thing. They can't prove you weren't a manager at Toys R Us or Radio Shack. That sounds like me right now. Even though I'm working right now, just remembering the job hunting process is depressing me. Oh, if you watch a video that's like, what it's like to get a job, you're competing with like 2,000 candidates on every job application, and they are using AI to filter them. So even if you have the perfect resume, if you're not using all the buzzwords and like hiding all the blemishes, like gaps in your resume perfectly, you don't even make it through the filter. It's so depressing. Blue Twitch dead, it's so over, bros. Took some digging, but I found it. The house was built in 1956, kept a lot of its original stuff, walls, floors, supports, until 2010. Wow, late comment. They're college housing you? Oh, even less than 500 if you have low income. They're college housing, but they were on places like Zillow. And some of the other, like, renting places. They weren't getting excluded by college housing stuff. Moving less than 500 if you have low income. You can be right back. You're gonna have a neighbor soon. You can prove it. That or Northern Missouri CAC? I think they were Northern Missouri. Living in a box land. That's so frustrating. That's so fucking infuriating. My mom does the exact same thing. This tilts me on a personal level. Alright, I have to go. See you tomorrow. Actually, see you tonight. It started. Take care. Zuby by Zuby. That's badass. Imagine outright blindly denying and forbidding something you straight up don't understand, LO. Look at this bozo walking. Hi, IT. Hi, Bitsy Boo. I paid $6 for that bit. Okay. Wait, what? I mean, who wouldn't enjoy watching you? I'm so happy to be here. Aww. Walkies. Oh god, I'm so fucking far behind. I saw Ewan in my recommended and I was like, hey, I recognize that name. I see him in a couple of chats. I'll go say hi. Hell yeah. That's pretty good, yeah. I wish I'd found you sooner. New streamer discoverability doesn't exist. Last in Counter-Strike sounds like it'd be identical. So yes, I remember showing up in your 3rd month. Someone raided me here. Destiny is pretty Good new discoverability, new streamers. CS is overpopulated, but easy to find new people in between matches. I wonder what makes it easy to find new people. Because that's crazy to me. I think of League of Legends, and there's like the 30 to 50 well-known former pro players or like 10-year veteran streamers that have like 500 plus viewers. And then anything under that is just like, who the fuck is this? You know, they're coming in. Sausage. Wonder if Leafeon sent me here or Lele. Both of them rated me in the first 3 months, so it's very... It literally could have been either. Remember how I found out Ewan started streaming? I think I might have just talked about it in Shin's stream, and Shin was like, oh, by the way, if anybody doesn't know, Yulin streams now. She's so great, I like her own emote even more. It's one of my all-time favorites. Must have been modeled after you. Bro, what are those monsters? Oh, I didn't... What did they look like? I didn't pay attention to them. Oh, falling down is really good. Oh my god, so far back I made lunch, broccoli, beef, and red pepper flakes with a sunny side egg with rice. Hell yeah. Red pepper flakes. Wasn't Toys R Us making a comeback? It feels like they've made 3 comebacks, and at this point it's like, are they actually? Using AI to filter resumes should be fucking illegal. AI for a lot of shit should be fucking illegal. Agreed! My Sam's Club creeps me out to go because of AI. Ugh. It's a psychological thriller about a 9-to-5 desk job guy descending into madness because society. But then you start to piece together the Why Society. It's a really fun movie. It sounds like I would like it. Hi, Paragon. It makes me think of Office Space. Although it's not really... Office Space is more comedy. But I fucking vibe with Office Space so much. Where this guy is just pushed around by his job and his girlfriend. All day, every day. And then he gets hypnotized to, like, not worry about stuff. To just not care. But before he gets unhypnotized, the hypnotist has a heart attack and dies. And so, for the next, like, month, he just doesn't give a shit. And it kind of breaks the system. Until something happens that snaps him out of the hypnosis, and then he starts freaking the fuck out. I'm not talking again until you catch up. People just play the game differently. Some MM, some face it. So custom games and so on. The NATO swirly looking ass? That was an air elemental. Elementals are a big thing in WoW, as you probably discovered. They are in every single expansion. They're just like a part of nature. And so air elementals are often portrayed as like just a fucking wispy boy. Arid, hope you're doing it good. So much in Office Space is so true. It's got comedy elements to it. Okay. Been chill and get tomorrow to relax. How about you? Hell yeah. To go back to my parents, you know, and how infuriating it was for them to be like, we will never support you streaming. You have to find a real job. And then them being like, you've got an extra year, 400 a month rent. By like month 2, my earnings had like really picked up to a point where it's like, I did not expect to be at that point so that fast. And when I told them that, well, I was like, hey, well, first off, in the first month, I lost like 80 pounds. In the first month, I went from like 205 to 185. And they're like, holy shit, you lost that much. And then I was like, yeah, and it's really fun because, like, you know, some people walk with me. I have a friend who, they had a treadmill, like, in the other room that they hadn't used for 2 years, and they bust that out, and they've been using it, you know, 3 times a week to walk with me. One person actually went and bought a treadmill, and they were like, wait, so you're, like, inspiring people to get healthier and also get their own treadmills? I was like, yeah, I guess so. And, like, for them, that was the biggest thing. When I told them that people are buying treadmills to walk with me or walk along me while they watch, they were like, okay, we fuck with this. This is awesome. And so now they're like fucking my biggest supporters. Now they love that I stream. When a year came up, when we got to like 300 days streamed, and I was like, hey, technically a year is coming up, right? In 2 months, it'll have been a year. Do I need to be finding a place? Am I moving out? And my dad just went, don't even think about that. No. So long as you're paying the rent, you're good. We are so happy with how this has gone. Don't even think about it. You can stay as long as you can pay the rent. And I was like, oh, my dad's approval. I haven't always had that my whole life. Oh. Nice Don't Steal My Forever vibe. Job hunting is a bitch and a half. Yeah. And when you watch videos about it, it's so... When you learn, like, the absolute monster that you are applying against. I apply for jobs differently than my dad does. My dad will just, like, send the fucking resume out. If you don't meet all the requirements, fuck it. Just apply anyway. And when I look at jobs, I was like, okay, I have, like, if there's a requirement I don't have, like, 2 years trained in this, then I'd be like, oh, then I can't apply for this one. Right? But the way it works is, you need to be applying to fucking everything, and you need to, honestly, you need to be fucking lying about stuff. Because it's impossible to have everything on all these jobs. You're never going to be the perfect candidate. And even if you are, 300 people have said they are. So, like, you just gotta fucking lie on your resume. I wouldn't say you have a doctorate, but, like, if there's something that's, like, trained in this, fucking say you got it. And when asked about it, say you've learned about it, you know about it, and you're willing to learn more. It's like, it sucks. The requirements that they have are just unrealistic. And you are competing against people saying they have them with a system that filters out people that aren't saying they have them. There's just like, there's no winning unless you cheat. Gotta thank Matthews. Honestly, yes. Matthews is paying my fucking rent right now. I'm sure you'll find some solid work soon. Here's to hoping. Hey, Arid. I guess it made them realize that your streaming has a purpose. Notes. That's so cool, finally. Hell yeah, W parents. Just walk in and ask for a job. Gets trespassing charge. One of my favorite stories on Reddit was like, my dad got fucking put in his place. I've been applying to jobs, and my dad has been very frustrated that I haven't found anything after a month. And so he told me to go in and, like, give my resume to people. And I said, okay, why don't you come with me and see how it goes? And so my dad drove me to, some place, a Walmart. And I said, you don't have to, like, do anything, just watch this go down. And he walked up to a manager and was like, hey, I'm looking for a job. Would you like my resume? And the manager looked at him and was like, are you fucking stupid? We have an online application process. I'm busy. And walked away from him. And he went back to his dad and was like, huh, do you think I'll get the job, Dad? And his dad was like, that's not how it's supposed to go. He's supposed to be happy about an eager person applying for the job. That's just initiative. You just showed initiative. And he had to explain to his dad, here's the thing. A lot of companies, they say they're hiring, right? You hear about it all the time. Nobody wants to work. We need more employees. We need more people. Just nobody wants to work anymore. Every business you look at has a now hiring sign in the window. But here's the secret. They're not actually hiring. The reason they're not hiring is because they only get some benefits, specifically from the PPP loans over COVID, if they were hiring. So, you know what's really easy to say? I'm fucking hiring. And then you know what's even easier to do? Not hire anybody, but still collect that PPP loan that gets forgiven fucking anyway. And so, like, every fucking business was just doing that. Firing is more profitable than hiring. Yeah. Dude, my dad and I, we look very differently at like layoffs because he's corporate, right? He has been an executive at the table, is like, we got to discuss profits, right? I see a company laying off 800 people December 2nd, and I'm like, these fucking monsters. Each one of those employees had a family. Half of them probably had kids that, just lost their Christmas. That's fucking monstrous. Hi, Final Fantasy Steve. Oh, that's a fun name. Thank you for the follow. And my dad was like, yeah, but they're not needed anymore. Why should this company take the burden of keeping them hired if their job is redundant, if it doesn't do anything? And I'm like, dude, you literally put the company before the people. These companies don't exist. They don't have dreams or aspirations. They don't have kids that need presents under the tree on Christmas. They're literally not real. They're a construct, man. And, like, I see the logic in both. I feel like we should be prioritizing people, but... You and I'm already depressed. I don't need fuel. We're looking for 18-year-old with 55 years of work experience. Spicing up the truth, Keck. Yeah, of course, that's the one thing that school teaches you. How to lie and cheat for profit. It really is. Initiative gets me in so much trouble. Welcome, Final Fantasy. So I threw it on the ground. Companies are peepo mean. Dude, I just hate companies. I'm so anti-corporate, anti-company. And a lot of my friends find me fucking annoying for it. Core will constantly say, like, this is not the right answer, dude. You just gotta incentivize the companies. And I was like, I'll incentivize them with fucking criminal charges. I need a drink. I have not been drinking. Incentivize this, pants grab. I mean, it's the Principality of Sticks and Carrots. I also need a drink? It's... I don't know. You need to incentivize companies to behave. I feel like you really just need to fucking constrict them. You really just need to... just take away every opportunity that a company has to take advantage of something. And somebody will argue that, well, then you're leaving companies open and vulnerable to people taking advantage of them. You don't want somebody, suing the company for some bullshit thing and, like, getting away with it, essentially stealing. Hi, Dingo. And I'm like, no, do that. That's fucking good. I don't want people taking advantage of companies and stealing from them. I would rather have that than companies doing it en masse to people. I'm absolutely okay with a few bad eggs taking advantage of a company. I am way more okay with that than a company just, like, wiping out the retirement savings of millions of people and just going, oopsie, our bad, teehee. But our shareholders and our executives each got paid $10 million before we declared bankruptcy. Teehee. Yulin supports Adblock. Honestly, I fucking do. Because something like 1% of the people on the internet actually use Adblock. Stop fucking, like, bringing attention to it. If they literally just stop talking about ads and stop trying to force them more and more, literally more people would see ads, but... Ullarind. Some places have employee referral programs. Hi, Joe. If you are friends with someone at one of those places, you can bypass some of the red tape and your buddy gets extra cash. Which, I think that's a good thing. I don't have a problem with it necessarily. Call them out for being evil. Yulin supports